Hi, Share Club. How's it going? So I have a quick confession to make. I am still in my pajamas from last night. We had a snow day without the snow, which is really fun. And so we all stayed inside because it really is like 20 degrees here, which for Texans, that is a no-go. We don't do 20 degrees around here. So we bundled up in our house all day, and I just tried to survive. And I drank stress away by the gallons. So, excuse me if I'm a little spacey on here. I've been hanging out with children in a cooped-up house all day. So, all of you people from Kansas, or actually Missouri, and, oh my gosh, we have one more person that is not in Texas. Now I'm drawing a blank. You guys are probably laughing at me because, in Texas, we cancel everything. We cancel life if there is a chance that there might be a speck of ice on the road, which is probably for the best because ain't no one around here knows how to drive an ice. So, anyways, all that to say, I've had a pajama day, which is really fun. So, I'm on here to talk to you guys about why Young Living and a little bit of safety, and these two topics really go hand in hand because when I was evaluating which essential oil company I wanted to try, safety was a big important thing to me. I am a rule follower, and I am conservative, and I am super concerned about safety and what I'm putting on my kids and what I'm putting on myself and my husband. So, I did a lot of research on companies. I jumped on board with essential oils kind of when they were re-emerging as, you can call it a trend, I guess, because they started coming out on the scene, and it was a newfangled thing, but not really, because they've been around since the foundation of the world. And Young Living's actually been around for 27 years. But it seemed like a new thing at the time, and I am not a bandwagoner. I was like, not getting on the bandwagon. So I'm going to do my research and make sure what I'm choosing isn't because everyone else is choosing it. So after doing a ton of research, I landed on Young Living, and a big factor of it was safety. And so let me tell you why. First and foremost, Young Living has something out there that no other company can offer. And it's a coined phrase for them because it is so important to them. It's called seed to seal. And what that means is they are in control of everything from the planting of that seed all the way up to delivering that oil to your doorstep. Young Living controls everything in the process, which is huge. Hey, Katie. So, super important to know because they know exactly what's happened to that plant from the seed all the way to the bottle. So let's start with seed. Each seed is sourced through Young Living. And they've been carefully selected because they've proved their effectiveness and their potency over time. So that's just called using an heirloom seed. So they take their most powerful plants and they take the seeds from those plants to replant them for the following year. So it's kind of like survival of the fittest. So they weed out kind of plants that aren't producing potent oil. And those plants go bye-bye or to a different facility. Young Living is a sustainable company, and so they don't waste anything. They just give it to other people. Yes. So that will tell you something about some of the other oil companies that are getting plants from Young Living. It is something that they give away if it doesn't meet their standards. So cultivation is the second step. Cultivation is just meaning like loving a plant, like growing it up. And this is a very complicated thing. I don't know if any of you have ever looked into it, but being a horticulturist is mind-blowing. Like the science these guys know is insane. And Young Living employs a team of experts that know all about soil preparation, the balance of the plant's climate, weed and pest control, wildcraft harvesting, all of these things. They're experts in these fields. And all of this just ensures that the plant reaches its highest potential that it can. So, it is super important to cultivate a plant for the potency and the effectiveness and the purity. So, the cool part is Young Living, so they have 17 farms worldwide, so they're all over the globe. And they also have partner farms. So for farms that are for plants that don't need a lot of batch producing, so not a high demand plant, like let's just say sandalwood from Hawaii. It is not a high volume production for Young Living, and so they partner with a sandalwood farm in Hawaii to grow up their plants, and they employ Young Living employees there. So it's like a Young Living farm, but it's technically a partner farm. So they establish their farms where plants grow natively, which is key because you don't want to like grow a mango tree in Texas because it grows way better in Mexico. So you don't want to ever transplant these plants that just won't thrive in the environment that you place them in. You want to go to where they grow and love to grow. It's an art form also to catch an essential oil. So we talked about it being the circulation of the plant. I don't know why I'm hand waving. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. I've been cooped up inside all day. So it is an art form to capture this essential oil because it circulates through the plant, and sometimes it's in the flower and sometimes it's in the roots. So like the ylang-ylang plant at 10 a.m., like I don't know how the plant knows it's 10 a.m., but seriously, the essential oil is only harvestable when it's in the flower of this plant, and it happens at 10 a.m. Isn't that insane, y'all? So the plant is tested throughout the day, and when they find the essential oil where it can be harvested, they harvest. They literally will go out there every 10 minutes or so and test a plant to see if the essential oil is ready. Also, this was funny. I went there for a convention this past year, and at the farm they were just kind of going over, and one of the employees came up and told us that they will send their employees home who are in a bad mood. Isn't that insane, y'all? They don't want their bad mood juju on the plants, and so they make them go home, which is crazy to me. So it's just really funny, actually. They don't want any bad juju, so they send those people home. They also are very, very serious about no chemicals. So they do all of their weeding by hand, which, no. I can't even weed my 8 by 10 foot garden. I can't imagine. But they do all the weeding by hand. And they use horse and buggy. Like, you guys, it's insane. At each farm, they have horses and buggies and all kinds of stuff. That's how they actually go through the harvest. They don't want any exhaust getting on their plants. They are serious about this. And everything's just cared for by hand, which is super cool. The third part is distillation. So distillation is super important, actually, because this just means where a plant is harvested and then taken to a distillery so they can actually pull the essential oil from the plant. And the essential oils are extracted through low temperature, low pressure steam distillation for most plants. And that ensures that just the beneficial part of the plant remains uncompromised and intact, so it can actually be therapeutic. It maximizes the quality of the oil. Citrus fruits are cold pressed because they actually get the essential oil from the rinds of citrus fruit, so they cold press it out. So again, keys are low temperature, low pressure, because if you don't have both of those things, the therapeutic property of the oil can be destroyed. They also do first pass distillation, which most companies out there do not do. First pass distillation is when they distill a plant, they take the first matter that comes from that distillation process. They don't pass it through the machine multiple times. And what happens is, this means that the little bit they get out is very, very, very potent. The more times you pass it through the machine, you get bigger volumes, but less potency. Most companies out there will tell you they do 8 to 9 passes on distillation. Young Living is first pass, which is big time. Key to potency. So, distillation is huge. Gary got the techniques from a French farmer and distiller who's been in the business for a long time of harvesting and distilling essential oils, and that's where he got the technology from. And that's also, Young Living is founded on the French model of aromatherapy, or the French model thoughts on holistic medicine in general. So, okay, so testing is the fourth key. Each see, here goes my language, y'all. I've been talking to kids all day. So each batch of oil undergoes stringent testing. And this is done through internal laboratories as well as third-party facilities. They ship out to different, and they change up their third-party facilities frequently. And this just ensures the purity and the potency of each plant and subsequent oil. And what happens is if they don't meet the standards, that batch gets put to somebody else. It gets sold to someone else who wants to purchase it. Because it's good oil, but it's not the Young Living standard. So, and then seal. After all that testing, they bottle it. And Young Living personally fills, seals, and inspects every single bottle of oil. It also has a batch number on there if you look. So if you see that batch number, they can trace it back to the row and to the actual plant that essential oil came from. It's crazy. So they had a bad batch of lavender a while back, and it met the potency and purity standard, but it smelled a lot different, which happens. And so a lot of their customers said, hey, I don't like the way this smells. It smells different. And so they traced it back to a certain row in the Mona, Utah farm. So it's neat that they can trace these essential oil bottles back to their parent plants. Okay. So that's the seed to seal process. I can tell you what I found in my research when cross-comparing companies. And I will tell you a couple facts that I learned along the way. So 2% of essential oils sold in North America are suitable for medicinal purposes. And Young Living makes 98% of those oils, which is crazy. A lot of oils on the market have synthetic components, so they're synthetically made in a lab. They can have chemical fillers added, and it's a way to sell oils cheaper because they can fill things instead of with pure plant. They can put like coconut oil carriers or alcohol carriers or something like that in the bottle. And they're created cheaply and sold cheaply. And another fun fact I learned is there's 100 times more lavender sold in the United States than is grown. That is frightening. A lot of lavender is synthetically made, so beware. Things can also get a little hairy in the distillation and packaging process. Many companies out there will use chemicals for the distillation process because it's quicker and it's cheaper. And then they can also add those fillers, like I said. So remember, these oils are not FDA regulated, which we'll get to in a second with safety. People can put on the bottle whatever they want to put on the bottle, Young Living included. The cool part is that these third-party testing facilities who are actually looking at the components of these oils release statements to say, here's how they held up to what they're saying is on the label. So that information's out there. You can find it. I'd be glad to share it with you if it's something you're interested in when you're cross-comparing companies. And Young Living lives up to its standard. So big key. And so if you're wondering, hey, is the oil I'm buying have chemical fillers or chemically distilled, or what is it? So some red flags are, it'll say not for topical use or ingestion. It will say perfume grade on the bottle. And what that means is it's something in there that you can't ingest because it's a chemical and they don't want you ingesting it. If you can't ingest an essential oil, don't recommend putting it on your body either, because when you stick it on your skin, it's getting in your system either way. So you don't want to be putting chemicals on your skin. I thought you said they were going to say they have the lemon oils. Yes. Sorry. Goodness gracious. So expiration date is another one. If an essential oil is an expiration date, that's a no-no. A pure plant in a bottle is not going to expire. So as long as you keep them intact in their original bottles and don't mix them with anything, they stay unexpirable. They don't expire. Is unexpirable a word? I don't even know. So if you mix it with a coconut oil, like we showed you those roller bottles last night, then it will take on the expiration date of whatever you mix it with. So don't mix up a big batch unless you're going to use it. Also, another red flag, all the oils are the same price. Frankincense should not cost the same as lavender. It is a more pricey plant to grow, to harvest, to distill, it is a difference. So if you see them costing the same, like if all of them are $25, run the other direction. Oil should cost differently based on the plant, how they have to distill it, things like that. Okay, so Also, if you want to do a smell comparison, now that you have some Young Living essential oils in your hands, you can actually smell test them. I gave you some peppermint last week. You're going to get Thieves this week, which Thieves is a little tricky because no one else sells Thieves. It's a proprietary blend, or a blend that Young Living sells. But you can take the peppermint. I'm going to send lavender next week. You can actually smell test Young Living with other oils, and it is mind-blowing. You should do it. It's a really cool experiment. Okay. A lot of people are saying, like I said in the beginning, oils are fad. Like, where's this coming from? This is new. It's not new. And now essential oils are even being sold at like a Walmart and TJ Maxx and all these kind of crazy places. So beware. Young Living was the first essential oil company in the United States to really produce. They've been producing essential oils since 1994. And they've just really set themselves apart. They've not had a substantiated adverse reaction claim to their company since this time, which is huge. They have 17 farms spanning the globe, like I said, and they work with over 50 partner farms. So they indigenously source every single oil that they provide. And that can't be said for anyone else. So oils are not a fad. Been around for forever. And yeah. So I won't drone on about Young Living. Just know that they are thebomb.com, and you should totally use Young Living over everything else. So, okay, those are just some reasons why. So safety. This being said, anything I'm going to recommend in this class is going to be for Young Living only. They are the only oils I would ever ingest. So that means that they're the only oils I would ever put on my body. So anything I say about the use of essential oils is going to pertain to Young Living only. So, yeah, they're the only things I use. So, okay, safety tips. Do not put them on your eyes or your ears or in any other mucous membrane ever. They will burn your eyes. Not like really burn them, but it will feel like they're burning. And it is quite startling. And the burn will dissipate. Your eye will not be damaged, but it's going to be a dicey 2 minutes for you, and you don't want to do it. So ears, don't put them in your ears either. If you want to help something that's brewing in your ear, you can put some oils on a cotton ball and then stick it inside your ear. Just don't drip it inside your ear. Please don't. And another safety, if you have sensitive skin, always use a carrier oil. That really helps kind of dilute down the potency of the oil. It's still going to have the same effect, but it makes it a little less bitey. So if you have a reaction, then put some carrier oil on there and it'll help. Kind of the most common reaction, if you're going to have one, is a little bit of skin redness or tingle. And that will subside and go away. And you can make it go away quicker by adding an oil or a carrier oil on top of it. So, yeah, and it's temporary. So applying oil with the carrier doesn't make it any less effective. I think I've already said that. If you get itchy or uncomfortable, yeah, put some coconut oil or other carrier oil on top. Remember, oils remove oils. Water spreads oil. So if you do get an oil in your eye, don't go wash it out with water. It will spread it all over, and you'll be in. It's not fun. If you're pregnant or nursing, there's a couple oils that they recommend to avoid or simply use with caution. So a great resource to figure this out, I can send you some literature, or you can look in a book called Gentle Babies by Deborah Rayburn. She's a master naturopath who has studied with Young Living specifically and can relate to all their blends. So it's a great resource to have. Young Living, so we talked about FDA a little bit. FDA, okay, let's face it, y'all. They approve some scary things, right? You all see those commercials about Viagra or whatever it is, and they have like one sentence telling you about the benefit of this medication you're about to take and about a paragraph of ways that it can harm you, right? And that's just when you synthetically make things in a lab, your body goes, oh no, we're not doing that. So you're going to have side effects. And so your liver doesn't know how to process it. There's so many things. I could have a class just on that. So you need to really know what the FDA is. FDA will approve some things that aren't necessarily great for you. Okay? that FDA just goes through clinical trials, right? So the good news about FDA is that they are a regulatory body and they make people be truthful about what they're saying about their products. So you can't falsely advertise if you are FDA regulated. They will catch you and figure you out and knock you out. The holistic world doesn't have that advantage. Nothing in the holistic world is FDA regulated, including products that are on the shelves at grocery stores, Walmarts, Targets, anything. They can write whatever they want on a label, so just beware. Use with caution. Most people are honest about their ingredients, but the kind of the market labeling or the front labeling can be totally misleading. So the cool part about the FDA is they have actually given Young Living a GRAS certification. It's the only essential oil company to hold this certification by the Young Living, by the FDA. And what it means is it's generally regarded as safe, and it's the FDA's stamp of approval for a company that they cannot regulate. So they have improved Young Living essential oils for supplementation. So you can ingest Young Living essential oils. They said, yes, you can do that. So that's why you're going to see the white labeled bottles and then the regular labeled bottles. Same oil, but different label. Because in order to maintain our GRAS certification, we have to differentiate which oils are ingestible and which ones are not. So just a little tidbit of information for you, which is super cool that Young Living has that certification. That's awesome. So if you're going to take a bath with oils, beware. Do not just stick them in your bath water. It's not going to end well. You will have that little oil float on top of the water until it finds a mucous membrane, and normally that is your sensitive regions, and it does not feel good. So what you have to do is put it in some Epsom salt. Pre-mix it in some Epsom salt and then dump it in the water. That way the oil sticks on the Epsom salt and not on your lady bits, because it doesn't feel good. Oils also do not make you invisible. We're all broken humans. It's sad, but it's true. So remember, continue to wash your hands, continue to drink lots of water, continue to get sleep, continue to eat real foods, all the things that also help us out. Just essential oils are a vital part of that wellness toolkit. So they're not going to make you invisible. I wish they would, because sometimes I want to be invisible, but just not the case. Hot oils. So there are some spicy oils out there, as my daughter would say. And these are oils that just have a little bit of a tingle factor. So like peppermint is going to be spicy. It's going to feel a little tingly on your skin. Thieves, that same thing. Anything with a peppermint or a eucalyptus or a clove or a cinnamon bark, which is all thieves, beware. You might want to use just some carrot oil with it. It will take that little tingling away. I actually like the tingling, so I don't dilute, but totally up to you. Also, photosensitivity. The citrus oils specifically are photosensitive, and what that means is they can make your skin more susceptible to UVA and UVB rays. And so when you stick them on your skin goes, come on, sun, come burn me. So it's not the essential oil that's burning your skin, it is actually the sun, but the oils make your skin soak up those rays. So if you're going to be outside in the sun, do not put citrus oils on your skin that's exposed. You can still apply them topically underneath clothing, because this is a sunblock mechanism, but do not apply them on your face unless you're going to walk around with a mask, or just apply those oils to your skin at night. Most of the sensitivity wears off by about 10 to 12 hours. So I use my lemon eye cream at night because I know I won't be out in the sun at night. So just beware, any citrus oils have that photosensitivity component to them. Okay, so that is it for safety and Young Living. And like I said, they go hand in hand. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'd be so happy to answer them. I will be posting. I just posted the stuff from last night right before I hopped on this live video. I'm sorry about that. I was taming wild children all day. And so, yeah, pop on there and look at the consult kit. And then tomorrow morning I will post more information about Young Living and Seed to Seal and safety. And then I'll hop on again here tomorrow, I think it's at 8 p.m. And we will discuss what is showing up in your mailbox. It might have shown up today, although the ice apocalypse here probably changed all that. So you might be getting it tomorrow, and we'll cover tomorrow night what is in those goodie bags. So thanks for joining me. I am so happy to have you guys. And, which Epsom salt? Nope, I did not say that. So Epsom salt, just it can be any brand really, just make sure it doesn't have a scent to it. Because it's probably a synthetic scent that is not good for you. Just look for plain Epsom salt. I think it's magnesium something is what it's called. So just plain Epsom salt. Anywhere is good. I actually, in the toolkit Katie posted a little tool file. You can actually, there's a link to the one I purchased personally on Amazon Prime in that little file. So check it out there. If you want to Amazon Prime it, just click on that link. It'll take you right to it. So, yeah, the only key factor, just make sure it's unscented. Okay, guys. Thanks for hopping on here. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Oh, the spray. I know, right? The lavender linen spray is a game changer. It's one of, so I've done the Share Club a couple times, and it's one of the faves, the house favorites. And so I love that you love it too. I gotta love Prime, girl. It has changed my life because I refuse to go to the store with 4 kids. Like, flat out refuse. I'm not doing it. So thank God for Amazon Prime, and my mailman probably hates me, but that's okay. It's a lifesaver. Okay, I'm glad you guys are enjoying week 1. Get excited for week 2. It's going to be in your mailbox tomorrow probably. And I will see y'all tomorrow night.